Welcome back to another UFC fight prediction video. In this video, I'll be predicting the prelim fights for UFC Fight Night Hunt versus Oleinik. And there are like a whole bunch of fighters on this card whose names I'm not sure how to pronounce or the exact pronunciation. So I will make a couple errors, but if you do know the correct pronunciation or there is an issue with it, then you can correct me in the comment section below. But I'm going to say these names as best as I can, and I'm going to predict the fights as best as I can. So without further ado, let's get to our first fight on the prelims. So in our first fight on the prelims, we have in the bantamweight division, Merab Dvalishvili versus Terrion Ware. Merab, very aggressive with the wrestling. He hugs on you like a leech the whole fight. Whether you deny him or whatever, he just stays on you. He keeps attacking. He has amazing wrestling cardio because just about any other fighter, you deny one or two of their takedowns, they be gassed. But you'll defend his takedown, you'll hit a wizard, he'll still be on you, hugging you, going back and forth. It keeps constantly hugging on you, trying to get you down the whole time. Going for shot after shot after shot, reshoot and all this stuff. It's like crazy. And that's very impressive about him. Terrion Ware, on the other end, he's pretty much a well-rounded fighter. He's not spectacular anywhere, no real power, no real flash, no real pizzazz, but he's well-rounded, he's solid everywhere. Pretty good defensive striking. Not the best defensive like wrestling, and that's where I think it's going to kind of fault him a little bit, or where you're going to be find where, well, at least in this fight, it's going to be a kind of not a good thing to have or a good thing to lack, I would say, in this fight as far as wrestling defense. And that's what Merab does. He's a very offensive wrestler. I think Merab's going to be on him the whole fight and take advantage of that lack of wrestling defense and constantly pressure him, constantly take him down, and probably lay him, like grind him out to a 3-round decision. So in this fight, I have Merab Dvalishvili via decision. Then on to our next fight, we have in the welterweight division, Ramazan Emeev versus Stefan Sekulic. I don't really know how to say that name, but Stefan Sekulic, I think, a well-rounded fighter, okay striking, a nasty guillotine, versus Ramazan Emeev. I think dropping down from the middleweight to welterweight, just like his second fight at welterweight. A very smothering wrestler who could, with okay striking, like passable striking, and very smothering top pressure. I think Ramazan Emeev is going to be able to take down Stefan Sekulic, and Sekulic probably going to invite it too because he feels he has such a good guillotine. So Ramazan does have to be respecting of how he comes in with these entries because that's his opponent's specialty is a guillotine, or at least his submission specialty is a guillotine. So you can't just come in there all willy-nilly. But I think he's going to understand that, see the tape, take him down, smother him, negate a lot of those submission attempts, and just probably step over, pass like side control, and probably just dominate him and but not finish. It's gonna be like a decision type victory where he's gonna grind him out. But just be cautious with those entries, and it's gonna be, I think, a pretty clear decision. So in this fight, I have Ramazan Emeev via decision. Then on to our next fight, we have in the middleweight division, Jordan Johnson versus Adam Yandiev. Jordan Johnson dropping down from the light heavyweight division, 2-time All-American wrestler, Division 1. Versus Adam Yandiev, who's more like a powerhouse type fighter. Very strong. A lot of submissions, like strongman submission, neck cranks and cranks, all the type of stuff. So he's a very kind of stocky, buff built dude that likes to use his muscles and use his strength against people. Versus Jordan Johnson, who's a 2-time NCAA All-American. I think he's going to be able to shut down a lot of his strongman tactics. Jordan Johnson is like a pace type fighter. Not really a huge knockout artist, not no great striker. Great wrestling, great understanding of things. I think Jordan Johnson's going to be able to kind of just wear him out. He's going to be able to shut down the strength moves, the buff man moves, and buff man aggression, wear him out, and put a pace on him that Yandiev is not going to be able to keep up with. Eventually, he's going to be able to implement his own wrestling and probably just wear Yandiev out. It's not going to be a finish, but I see a decision for Jordan Johnson. So in this fight again, Jordan Johnson via decision. Then on to our next fight, we have in the light heavyweight division, Magomed Ankalaev versus Marcin Prechino. So Magomed Ankalaev, top-notch sambo fighter, very good wrestling, super strong, a lot of talent. He just got caught in his last fight. He was looking very impressive. Looked like he would be a huge threat in the light heavyweight division. He just got caught at the very last second. But no excuses. You got caught, you lost, you come back and get stronger, or you just mope about the loss and stay where you were. So I think he's going to come back stronger than he already was. Fix up that hole. And he's not really fighting a submission fighter. He's fighting a karate-style guy who makes some questionable decisions well. Like in his last fight, he's looking all right against Sam Alvey. A lot of power in his body kicks, a lot of power in his strikes. But him supposed to be a karate stylist, he didn't really understand range that well. He was walking right into punching range with his hands down and chin up. So who knows? They both made some mistakes. I think Prechino made the biggest mistake. the biggest glaring, obvious mistake anyone can make. Walking in with your hands down and chin up, that's like elementary right there. A striker versus wrestler matchup or grappler matchup versus a guy who doesn't understand range that as well as he should. I think that's an easy matchup for Ankalaev as long as he can avoid really the power. Don't try to take any of those hard body kicks. Don't try to catch anything on chin. Just come in, keep your chin down, hands up, take his little kicks and catch them, take him down, put him on his butt, grind him out to his decision. And I think that's what Magomed Ankalaev is going to do. I think it's going to be to pressure him, smother him, take him down, grind him out. So in this fight, I have Magomed Ankalaev via decision. Then on to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, Mairbek Taisumov versus Desmond Green. Both very good strikers, both very, they got good foot movement, good understanding of, the ring and foot. Let me not even get too much in striking. They're both good at what they do. I think Desmond Green is the faster fighter, the longer fighter. But I think Mairbek Taisumov definitely has more power. I think his time's a little bit better. I think he actually is the better striker. I think that's where he competed at. I think Desmond Green's like a wrestler that tried to strike, and he is good at what he does. But Mairbek Taisumov, this is what he's due. This is what he's been bred on from the jump, and that's why I think his striking time is gonna be better. I think Desmond Green's wrestling time is better, but I think Taisumov has fought in, I say for the most part, the better competition. He's been in UFC longer, and he's been destroying pretty much everybody he's been fighting. I think he's gonna be able to catch Desmond Green he's caught his other opponents because Desmond Green's foot movement is so good and he's so fast and he can see things coming. He has good eyes for what's happening in the fight, so it's not like he's gonna be somebody that's easy to be caught. But in the past, when I watched him in Bellator, he's always had kind of these same attributes. But one thing that caused him an issue in the past is people that have good striking, lots of power, and good time. So Mairbek Taisumov is kind of that fighter that's caused him issue in the past. And Taisumov also has good wrestling defense. So if he tries to mix it up, but I think if Desmond Green can mix it up, he can potentially shift this fight in his direction, at least throw Taisumov's timing off. But I think Taisumov's not gonna be too worried about his takedowns. He's gonna be defend them. And I think he's gonna be a stifle Desmond Green with his power and his timing, and can really keep him from ever truly getting in a groove and kind of lead to a points type of decision where Desmond Green is landing, but Taisumov landing more often, more frequent, and he landing the more telling shots that's gonna shift the judges in his favor. So in this fight, I got Mairbek Taisumov via decision. Then on to our next fight, we have in the lightweight division, Rustam Khabilov versus Cajun Johnson. Rustam Khabilov, another Sambo practitioner, very good at getting in and just tossing people around like sacks of flour. Very good wrestling, okay striking, been around the UFC for a minute, and a solid, proven fighter. Cajun Johnson, been around the game for a long time, been in UFC for a couple years, solid fighter. Well-rounded, good grappling, good striking, not the best chin, good foot movement, good speed, good understanding of the whole game. But Cajun Johnson, as good as his foot movement is and how much he brags about it, it's good to have good movement, but you gotta have some good takedown defense. His takedown defense isn't the best. And he's fighting against another top-notch grappler who can take you down, and once they get a hold of you, they can just throw you around. And that's what Khabilov's probably gonna do. I think Cajun Johnson might do a good job to avoid him early. But I think eventually the cage is only so big, and Rustam Khabilov is eventually going to be able to cut him off, get a hold of him, take him down, and start to wear on him. And then once one takedown happens, two takedowns going to happen, three takedowns going to happen, four takedowns going to happen. It's going to keep happening. And eventually Khabilov's going to be able to maintain some control on Cajun Johnson on the ground and just grind him out to the decision. I don't think it's going to be the case that he's going to submit Cajun Johnson or TKO him. I think it's going to be more so him just constantly chasing him down, cutting off the cage, taking him down, and controlling him for as long as he can to a point. I think towards later rounds, third round, it's gonna be pretty much just a whole just smother fest where the whole pretty much probably 4 to 5 minutes in that round gonna feature Cajun Johnson on his back. So in this fight, I have Rustam Khabilov via decision. Then on to our next fight, we have in the bantamweight division, Peter Yan versus Jin Soo Sun. Jin Soo Sun, nice little prospect, trained out of Korean Zombie MMA. Well-rounded fighter, a lot of aggression, a lot of potential in him. I think he can make this a pretty good fight, maybe shift in his favor if he can mix in some grappling. But I think on the feet, Peter Yan is just way too sharp for him. I also think Peter Yan shows some pretty good takedown defense in his fights. So maybe that grappling aspect won't come in as much. But if you could gain his respect a little bit on the feet, then slipping some takedowns, I think maybe you'll have more success. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be a good fight. But I think Peter Yan's accuracy and power is just going to be too much for Jin Soo Sun. I see a second round TKO for Peter Yan. Then on to into the middleweight fight. I mean, our next fight in the middleweight division. This is our prelim headliner as of right now in the middleweight division. Khalid Murtazaliev versus CB Dollaway. Khalid Murtazaliev looked like he's a pretty solid striker. He got a whole rack of finishes via TKO and body kicks and this and that, dropping people and just finish them off, wrapping them up. Only 2 losses. His beats are kind of short. He's 5'11", but that's not very short at all. CB Dollaway, kind of a lanky fighter, all-American wrestler. Not the best striking defense, but a solid veteran and very good grappling and good finishing ability. Like I said, he has the range in this fight. In this fighting, Khalid Murtazaliev's best chance to do is maybe take advantage of how sometimes open CB Dollaway is, like maybe the body kick, maybe like an overhand coming over the top on CB Dollaway catching him, because CB Dollaway is open to be caught a lot of times. But I think in this case, I think CB Dollaway is going to be able to use that, the fact that he's more well-rounded than Zaliev. And CB Dollaway at the end of the day is still a I'm not going to say multi-time, he's an all-American NCAA Division I wrestler. So as much as he had opening striking, you still got to realize that wrestling is always going to be there. And he could implement that in the fight if it does go south, as he has done in the past when he fought fighters who maybe were more so strikers and they were getting the better of him in the striking or causing him some grief on the striking aspect. He was able to mix in his wrestling to change the fight in his favor. I think that's going to be the case in this fight. He definitely can be caught, and that's a very present factor that can happen in this fight. But I think CB Dollaway is more so going to use his veteran savvy, mixing the grappling, making it kind of a gritty fight. It's not going to be a pretty fight, but he's definitely going to make it his type of fight and grit through these rough exchanges, get some takedowns. And I think it's going to be like one of those fights where it's like an ugly type decision. It's going to be back and forth, him getting caught, but using his wrestling to secure some takedowns, landing some good shots of his own on the feet. But it's going to be, at the end of the day, the determining factor in this fight is going to be the takedown by CB Dollaway, and it's going to be close, but I'm going to give this decision for CB Dollaway. So in this fight, I have CB Dollaway via decision. So that concludes my fight predictions for UFC Fight Night Hunt versus Oleinik, with the prelims for UFC Fight Night Hunt versus Oleinik. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and come back for more videos. Peace.